What's going on, Pookie? Today, I want to have an eye-to-eye conversation with you. Mano y mano. Brotherly love. Because at this point in the year, about 9 months in, you're most likely not where you want to be with your dropshipping journey. With Q4 right around the corner and Black Friday 3 months away, you most likely do not have a winning product. You are most likely not at $1,000 a day, and you are wondering why that is. Or you got into this point in your journey where that motivation, that fire, that desire, that heart, that passion is starting to dwindle down a little. You're not as excited about dropshipping as you used to be. The ad account bans, the failed product tests, the payment processor holds, all the different issues culminating together, stacking on you like a boulder on your back. It's starting to hurt. It's starting to weigh on you. And for people in that situation, this video is for you. And I hope that it provides you motivation through this week and for the rest of the year, and be a resource that you can look back upon as to what it truly takes to be successful and whether or not you deserve to have a 6-figure a month business, which most people, let's be honest, don't deserve. They do not have the will, the ambition, the dedication in order to have something that is that desirable, like a 6-figure a month business. But anyone can do it. And I truly believe that. Whatever limiting beliefs you have on yourself, that I don't have the money, I'm not intelligent enough, I don't have the time, all these limiting beliefs and obstacles you put on yourself, the only thing they're doing is just preventing you from experiencing this reality that is possible. There are so many different versions of yourself in reality. There's the version that you are currently experiencing, and then just a little bit off center, 45 degrees away, if you just make one shift in your mindset or your actions or trying something new, you can experience a completely new reality that you never even knew was physically possible. And I am a living testament of that. Now, in order to do that, what is the one trait you need to adopt? Well, right now, I truly believe the number one trait you have to learn is resilience. If you want to make it in any business endeavor, you have to enjoy the pain. You have to love the problems. You have to love the responsibility. And most importantly, you need to learn to love the losses. That's where the magic is. Because every single failed product test, failed campaign, every single dollar you spend that goes down the drain in your eyes is a learning opportunity. It's getting you closer to that first winning product, to that first success that gives you that snowball effect of momentum. You've been pushing this rock so far and you're so close to being successful. You were right there. And every single product test, you get closer and closer and closer. As long as you were learning, as long as you're iterating, as long as you're improving that offer, those ads, that website, the way you're finding products and evaluating them, as long as it keeps improving 1% every single day, you are closer than you truly realize to getting that first success. And it might be right around the corner in the next product you test right after watching this video. But you have to learn to enjoy that pain. It's a painful process. But in order to be successful, pain is necessary. You have to embrace it, or it's going to eat you alive. And the only ones that make it in any business model are just the ones that can last the longest. It's not about finding your first winning product. It's about lasting long enough to get to that point where you have the skills developed to make a product a winner. Because you're going to have these nights where you're staring at a dashboard with there's no sales, or an ad account that's been restricted for the 10th time in a row. And you're just pissed or demotivated. But you have to be able to overcome that. And you have to be able to use these problems as fuel to your fire. Because if you don't do that, you're going to give up. And oftentimes it is not the most successful. It is not the person that has the most money or the most intelligent person that makes it in dropshipping. It's just the one that endures for the longest period of time. Most people are going to give up this game after a month. That is the God honest truth. They're going to test a few products, lose a little bit of money, get scared, and not want to test ever again. 100% of the time, those people are never going to make it in any business model. But the ones that do become successful in dropshipping are the ones that are stoic, that are able to stomach losing $100, $500, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 before finding that first winning product. They're able to keep on pushing, stay in the kitchen when it gets hot, stay in the pocket when it's collapsing, and still keep moving forward. If you are not comfortable with that, the chaos, the obstacles, the stress that this journey will endure, then you don't deserve the success, the happiness, the elation from that first product test that ends up being a winner. And that elation from scaling to $1,000 a day, to $5,000 a day, to $10,000 a day, to getting your first exit. You don't deserve that unless you go through the hero's journey of defeating that dragon and overcoming those obstacles. It's all a part of the journey. And if you don't learn to love and embrace the losses right now, you're going to give up far before you get those first wins. And that's just the God honest truth. So, as mentioned in the title, resilience. What does it actually mean, though? I find that with these hyper successful people I talk to, first off, they don't half-ass things. When they have a goal, they stop at absolutely nothing to make that goal happen. They are so incredibly disciplined and focused on that one thing, whether that's getting to $1,000 a day or 6 figures a month or retiring their parents or buying that dream car. They're just so sick of their current situation. It is such a nauseating feeling to be where they're currently at that they are willing to do anything in their powers to make that change. So you have to be, in a lot of cases, disgusted with where you're currently at, because most people are too content to make a change, at least a drastic enough change that actually will make you move forward. You're just too comfortable with moving at the speed at which you're at, and that speed isn't going to get you to where you want fast enough for you to keep on going. Let's face it, you're most likely going to need to see success within 3 to 6 months for you to want to keep doing this. But if you keep moving at the speed of a turtle, you're most likely going to get success, but it's going to take a few years. And let's be honest, you're not going to want to stay for that long. So you need to move faster. You need to have this ticking time block in your head that's saying, I need to test this product today. I need to get these ads up. I need to get this new product page ready to go. I need to see progress. Otherwise, you're going to give up. And what's the alternative? You keep working that 9 to 5, keep slugging away to barely pay your bills. You keep watching YouTube videos and seeing other people become successful, saying to yourself that, oh, that could have been me. But I guess I'm just not cut out for that. Is that what you want your life to be? When you're sitting on your deathbed thinking to yourself, well, I guess I tried it for at least a few weeks, or I tried that business for at least a month or so. Do you really want to have the regret of saying that I half-assed everything I've ever done in my life? Because let's face it, you probably have. I don't know if you've had really even one thing in your life that you truly committed and put your all into. And if you can't commit to yourself, if you can't commit to this business model, then you're simply not going to enjoy the best parts of life, of having freedom over your time, of being able to travel the world, of being able to have experiences that only 1% of the population could ever imagine having. You will live an unfulfilling life that is full of mediocrity, and you will have to settle for a life that is far below what you could have truly achieved if you reached your potential. And you know deep down by watching this video and by starting this business, you have potential. There is more to you. That you have a bigger calling in life than what you are currently doing. But what it's going to take to reach that potential is the failures. But you have to keep swinging that axe. You have to keep trying. You can't get emotionally attached just because the world doesn't owe you anything. You can have the perfect product page or the perfect ads, testing strategy, all of that. You could be making these micro adjustments. You could be changing your offer and your price points and doing all the right things. And those are the right things, but it still might not work. That product might still fail. You can do everything exactly right in dropshipping, and still 90% of the time that product is going to fail. And you have to be content with that. You have to understand the numbers. You have to not get emotionally attached. You have to be stoic and keep moving because these products don't care about you. These ad platforms, the world does not care about you. But you have to be able to keep moving on. You have to keep brushing that off, be comfortable with losing that money, be comfortable with spending all that time on something that will not bear you any fruit for the eventual goal and reward of being able to then finally get money and starting to scale by putting in the consistent right actions time and time again. Because after you keep swinging and swinging and swinging, eventually that tree, which after the first swing didn't get knocked down, or after the 100th didn't get knocked down, on that 20th or the 500th time, whatever, I know these numbers I'm just throwing around, that tree will finally go down. And it wasn't the first swing, it wasn't the 20th, it was all the swings that you took. It all compounds. But you have to start compounding today. Now, in order to describe other things that I've noticed from talking to these very successful, ambitious people, because I don't want this video to be too long. I really want this to just say that this journey, again, takes time. I know for me, I didn't initially get success until around my 25th product test. It took over a year for me to have my first true winning product that I actually made profits from. And then I blew all those profits on shoes, but it took so many long nights, 11-hour days. It was being obsessed. And truly, the best dropshippers, the best entrepreneurs in any business endeavor are the ones that are obsessed. That is the baseline minimum that you need to be at. Because if you're not, then the people that are going to run laps around you. There's always going to be someone that works harder if you don't want to put the work in yourself. And if you're not obsessed, then dropshipping or any business model is not going to work for you. In 2024, this is not a side hustle. This is a legitimate business where you have to be testing products. You have to be building websites. You have to be able to move with speed and efficiency and still maintain a high quality. And if you can't do that, then you're going to lose. And it doesn't require you to be the smartest person in the room in order to execute. It just requires you to have this certain level of urgency, of speed, of desire to change your situation, to make these changes happen. Otherwise, you're not deserving of the results. And quite often, I notice the most successful dropshippers are a little bit crazy because it does sound weird. But the truth is, the most successful entrepreneurs are the ones that can endure a higher level of risk and stress than any other normal person, normal civilian or NPC, whatever you want to say. Because you have to be able to be comfortable with losing thousands of dollars a day, dealing with ad account bans, payment processors holding thousands of dollars, people trying to constantly return your product, people maybe even trying to scam you. You need to have thick, tough skin. And you have to be able to have those problems roll off your shoulders, roll off your sleeves, and be able to handle them. And they're constantly happening. You have to be a firefighter that's putting out fires every single day. And the more problems you solve, the closer you will get to success. And the higher level problems you solve, the higher the money is that you will make. That is the secret. It's just who is the best at solving problems and enduring stress. That's a key thing that you need to develop. And that only comes through dealing with problems. So if you are currently in your journey dealing with problems, take that as a blessing. Because if you're not dealing with problems, then that means you're not moving fast enough. You should be moving fast enough where things are breaking. You're dealing with problems constantly because that means you're making progress much faster than everyone else. That ad account ban is a blessing. That hold is a blessing because once you solve that, you won't have to deal with that again, or you'll know exactly what to do the next time it happens. These experiences are going to be shaping you, building you that tough skin that you're going to need for when you deal with higher level issues, because the problems never stop, ladies and gentlemen. Once you find that first winning product, then you need more creatives. You need to hire a team. You need to be able to delegate. You need to be able to train people. Okay, we got our team now. Okay, we're doing $100,000 a month. Well, we need to get to $1 million a month. We need to be more profitable. We need to make more creatives. We need to make better hires. We need to sometimes fire people and then hire new ones. The problems are never going to stop. It never gets easier. You just get better at dealing with the problems. It's as simple as that. So right now, if you feel overwhelmed with the current problems you're dealing with, that's fine. But realize if you can't solve them, then you were never meant for success in the first place. This isn't rocket science, people. Dropshipping is one of the easiest business models in the world to understand, and that's why so many people get into it. So if you can't figure it out, and if you're not willing to put in the work to figure it out, then truly entrepreneurship just might not be cut out for you. And that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. But you just may have to work a 9 to 5. And for some people, that's totally fine. But I know for me, I want to have freedom. I want to have control over my schedule. I want to be able to do things that others can't. I don't want to go to the traditional path. But that entails its own set of challenges and layers of stress and responsibility that I had to overcome when I was 19, 20, 21, making sacrifices from the ages of 18 to 22, not going out, not partying, being disciplined, going to the gym, eating healthy, staying at this desk for 10 hours a day, journaling, time blocking, doing all the right things. And even for a few years, I barely was making any money. I was doing all the right things. I would have swings where I made a lot of money and then I would lose a lot of money. And I was still doing everything right. It truly took me about, I would say, 3 to 4 years to really make good money. Life-changing money. And most people aren't willing to be that dedicated to something for that long. It takes a certain level of disgust in your current situation and fire and obsession in order to truly make life-changing money. And once you have those skills and those traits and you find the right business model, which in this case is dropshipping, I truly believe the reward at the end of the tunnel is unlike anything else. Because we're in this world, can you just make $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day without a college education, without having a business degree, without having prior experience in business, without having a strong network, without having all of these external factors that anyone else in a similar situation would have to have in order to make $1,000 or $5,000 a day? It's incredible. So, just to recap this, my friend. If you're feeling demotivated, I understand. I have been there. I had so many periods where I wondered if it was worth it. But if you stick through it, and if you deal with these problems and you overcome them, I truly want to tell you now, you will never regret it. You are going to thank yourself because you're going to become a better person, better human, all around in every area of your life. And the financial rewards of being able to travel, being able to set your own schedule, being able to take care of your family, it's unlike anything in the world. But you have to go through this period right now. Nobody else can do this for you. Nobody else can load this burden. It's on you. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on dropshipping because I can guarantee you are closer than you think to success. You are right there. You're on the cusp. And it might be the next product. It might be the next 5 products. It might be the next 10. It might be the next 20. But if you keep improving, if you keep iterating, if you keep learning from the right people, it's going to happen. That is a guarantee. I've never seen someone stick to this consistently for years and not get some barometer of success. At least $1,000 a day. Now to wrap this up, if you do need help in your journey, because I understand it can be incredibly lonely, I totally get that, then I would highly recommend booking a call down below where you can talk to me and my team, where we can support you, give you that accountability that a lot of people do need in order to be successful, give you the support of telling you that you're doing things the right way, of showing you what to be doing differently if you're not seeing the results you want, so that you can get results much quicker, have the accountability support of being around other people that are going through this similar journey that are also seeing success and also dealing with the same problems and struggles so that you can overcome them together. And I truly believe that's the perfect environment to be in if you are truly dedicated to this. I know I had to go through that process of multiple mentors. I know everyone I've talked to as well had to do that so that you can learn from someone who's a step ahead to give you the information, to give you the blueprint to get to their level and eventually surpass them like my top students have. Now, as my final thing, because I usually do life updates in this, so because you guys really like my dating life for some reason, you always comment down below. I haven't really had a chance to be that funny in this because I wanted to be serious. I'm also listening to some very serious cinematic music. Jacob's Prayer, specifically. God, what a good song. So I believe in my last raw video, I talked about how I went on a date, Italian restaurant with this girl. Went pretty well. She didn't text me back. I texted her afterwards. I was like, hey, I got home safe. You know the usual, hey, text me back so I know you're safe. She didn't text me back. I think she got in a fiery car crash or something. Somehow she was able to unfollow me on Instagram even after she got in that fiery car crash and had to have died because, I mean, that's the only reason why she didn't text me. Crazy, right? The next day, I went out to this bar in Fort Lauderdale. I was wearing this hat right here. This hat, oh my God, cheat code. Because people will come up to me and be like, yo, sick hat. Or they'll like bum a cigarette and be like, yo, you want one? And I'm like, I don't smoke. I'm an absolute poser. I'm a goody two-shoes. My parents scared me away from drugs, alcohol, and all that stuff. That's why I didn't drink until I was, 18, but I didn't even drink that much when I was 18. I took quite a lot of years off because I'm an athlete. Taking these gains serious, boys. But I went out Friday night, was wearing that hat, and I was wearing some boots, so your boy was extra tall, extra juicy. So I'm 6'3" normally, but with boots I'm 6'5", so I'm just walking around these bars looking like a sheriff. And I had this girl come up to me, this fridge, who was very, very demanding and was like, hey, my friend over there thinks you're cute. You should go talk to her. And I was like, And she points over to her friend, mid. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'll definitely talk to her. Just, I'm getting a shot right now, blah, 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 excuse. And she's like, all right, well, you better pinky promise me. So I pinky promised her. I'd never talked to her friend. I left that bar 30 minutes later. I was like, I got to get out of here. It's a bad sign when the fridges are hitting on you. But it's funny. It's funny. It's nice to be like a kind of a hot girl where you have girls approaching you. Wear boots, gentlemen. That's the secret. Girls love a man in boots and jeans. And a hat. Hats are so underrated. I used to think girls would be like, oh, we'd love to see your hair out. That's what they say on social media. Chicks dig the hats, bro. They dig the hats. And to illustrate that, we went to another bar. And at this bar, there's two rooms. There's one room where they have a live band, and another room that's more private. It's about like a club, but it can only fit maybe 50 people with a DJ. And when I was in this room with the DJ, I saw this girl wearing a crop top that had the little red arches of Marlboro. It said something a little different, like Barbie or like Malibu Barbie, something like that, but it had the red arches. And I was like, oh my God. So I went up to her, and without even introducing myself, I'm just like, yo, do you have a camera? And she's like, yeah, I do. So I put the hat, I take it off my head, put it on her head, and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So she takes a picture, dancing, we're dancing together. Haven't even introduced ourselves. Vibes are good. Body language is good. She's this cute 6-foot blonde girl, like volleyball, Californian vibes, blue eyes. I was like, oh my God. My exact type. My weakness. I'll take 10. So we're dancing, good energy. And eventually she comes to my group. So I was with my group of boys. I had like 4 dudes I was with. So she comes, enters the circle, eyes me up, we're dancing. And then I take the hat back from her, and she's like, oh my God. It was like I shot her in the heart. And I was like, need my hat back. What can I say? But then she was wearing these jeans, so she had belt loops. So I put my finger in the belt loops, and I kind of just slowly pulled her into me. And I was like, let's go get a drink. So I asked her what she wanted. She said, let's do shots. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. Do you want to do lemon drop? Do you want to do tequila? She's like, nah, let's do Fireball. Retro for the streets. Next level hoe activities. I knew she was not a wifey type as soon as she said that, because Fireball is the most diabolical, throat destroying alcohol you can ever have. It just burns the absolute hell out of your throat. So I was like, okay, I hadn't had it in years, so I thought maybe my tolerance was a little better. I drank it. First second was fine. Second, like my eyes were watering. I looked like I looked like a bitch. I can't lie. I looked like a pussy. But your boy recovered, finally got this chick's name, and we could barely even hear each other. Every time she would try to say something to me, it was so loud. I was like, what? Like, one more time? Like, she'd say her name probably 3 times to me, and I would have to get, like, literally in her ear. Like, this, if this was her head, I would have to put my hand on the back of her neck, pull her in, and just, like, basically my tongue is in her ear trying to say something. So eventually go to a different part of the bar, start chatting a little bit. Vibes are good. We talked about almost nothing. Like, I learned about what she does for a living, where she's from, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually I could sense some tension, some eye contact going on. So I said, you have really nice eyes. She's like, thank you. You did too. And then suddenly her friend comes and says, let's go. I'm not having fun. I want to go to another bar. Hey, bud, you can come with us if you want. And the girl who I was talking to wanted me to come with her. She even took my hat. And she's like, I'm going to take this just so that you have a reason to come. And I said, well, if you're going to take my hat, then I'm going to need some form of payment for that. And she's like, I don't have any money. I said, well, you could pay in other ways. No. That was a fun night. So yeah, Thursday night date, doesn't text me back. Next night, hey, I get the blonde Malibu 6-foot girl, so I ain't complaining. Got her number. She was 27, too old for me. We move, boys. We keep moving. Going line dancing tonight. I'll let you know how it goes. I hope you all do have a terrific week and terrific rest of your year, and I hope you have a chance to enjoy your life, enjoy the little moments, enjoy the obstacles, enjoy everything that is happening to you right now, because it is all part of the process, and I do truly hope you stay and stick with this long enough to reap the rewards from all the hard work you're putting in right now. And I truly do believe in you, either if you're in my program or if you're just watching my YouTube videos casually. I thank you so much. I really have loved this year and making these types of videos. And if you want to see more, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.